What's up, everyone? Welcome into DodgerHeads, presented by DodgerBlue.com. My name is Jeff Spiegel, joined today by Matt Moreno, Daniel Starkand. Guys, we've got a little bit of action. The Dodgers sort of trickling out a little tease here for the upcoming trade deadline, making a move today, signing outfielder Jake Marisnick. Matt, I'll start with you. This guy is maybe most notable for being a part of the 2017 Astros. He is a right fielder. He is right-handed. He does have some speed. Those are kind of check boxes that we've all said the Dodgers might be interested in. Give me your immediate reaction to Marisnick getting a major league deal from the Dodgers.
Yeah, honestly, my first thought went to Chris Taylor because, he's been on the IL with his right knee issue. He did play in a couple rehab games last week, and Dave Roberts made it seem like the hope, if not maybe expectation, was that he would be with the team coming out of the All-Star break, that they would activate him. And honestly, when they optioned Miguel Vargas and didn't, make a corresponding move to fill the active roster spot, I thought, okay, like that is setting up for Chris Taylor to take it later in the week, which now here we are. And, we're still, I think we'll find out maybe more news on Friday as to Taylor's status. My second thought with Marisnick was he hits right-handed, and that's honestly about it in terms of what value I might see him bringing to the Dodgers at this point.
Yeah, and here's the problem. He's a below average hitter against lefties for his career, a 91 weighted runs created plus for his career. So he isn't even good against the one side. Daniel, I was looking through his career stats and I was like, okay, when was the last time this guy was good? He's basically been a sub 1 wins above replacement guy dating back to like 2019. His best year, Daniel, you're never going to guess this. His best year was those 2017 Astros. Really interesting.
I wonder what was going on there that allowed him to have so much success, huh? But I mean, yeah, I was a little surprised by this too. I guess the surprising part to me is that it's a major league deal because we've seen the Dodgers take a chance on a number of past big league guys on minor league deal. Like they got Cole Calhoun in their system, a lot of guys like that. So this is kind of like falls in line with that. But the fact that it's a major league deal means he's going to be on the roster here coming out of the All-Star break. So I guess that's the surprise. But I guess when you look at the move to option Miguel Vargas, there's probably going to be a lot more days where Mookie is in the infield playing either second or short. And then when you look to the outfield, there's a lot of lefties out there. So we've been asking for a righty bat, outfield bat for a while now. I think we're, hoping for someone better.
Someone that can hit lefties, maybe.
Yeah, someone better than Jake Marisnick. I know, Jeff, you've been mentioning Will Myers a lot. He's still out there. So yeah, I guess this is a little puzzling, but at the same time, it's the guy was DFA'd. It's not like they gave up any prospects to get him. It's not like presumably they're not paying him a ton of money. So he's a guy that if some injured guys come back, if you make more moves at the deadline, you could always just DFA him, and it's really no harm, no foul there. Like it's kind of just an experiment, see how he does. But yeah, if he's getting significant playing time, I don't think any of us would be in favor of that. On the other hand, if he's just like a pinch runner, defensive replacement type, I know every team is looking for that. On their postseason roster, we've seen it in the past with the Dodgers with Terrence Gore. Marisnick is still, even though he's 32, he's still in the 89th percentile for sprint speed. And if you look around the Dodgers organization, there's not a ton of speed there. So I get it from that perspective. But yeah, if you're picking this guy up to play 3 days a week against left-handed pitching, I don't really think he's gonna find much success there.
Yeah, Myers is the only reason that I'm as down as I am. To your point, it's free. Like, who cares? Kind of a thing. It cracks me up that he's a right-handed outfielder. It's like, oh, thank goodness, just what they needed. Well, the reason they need a right-handed outfielder is because they need somebody that can hit lefties because they don't trust any of their lefties to hit lefties. He's a 90 weighted runs created plus for his career against lefties. And again, Will Myers is just sitting out there. I know how atrocious Will Myers has been. He's a negative WAR player this year. Marisnick is a positive WAR player this year. Will Myers is a 116 weighted runs created plus for his career against lefties. That's the piece to me that just doesn't make sense. There seems to be a better guy out there for the exact thing you're bringing Marisnick in. Yes, Will Myers doesn't have the speed. So if that's something the Dodgers are serious about, I can't tell. I mean, Marisnick defensively seems like he's fine. Will Myers is probably worse defensively. But again, like the Dodgers have so many guys that are pretty good defensively in the outfield, like that you would at least say, hey, regardless of the bat, like Jason Hayward's good defensively, David Peralta's good defensively. So I don't really see the need for a defensive player. They need somebody who can hit lefties from the outfield. Will Myers seems to be a better guy. And then, I mean, Matt, real quick, like, does the Astros 2017 thing, like, I'm not saying this guy's Josh Reddick, but I'm not saying he's not Josh Reddick either. Like, if anybody remembers this guy from that team, I can't imagine this is going to be super popular.
Yeah, I think amongst fans, but I mean, we've seen from the front office, as much as they sort of take the fans into account, they don't really ultimately at the end of the day. And honestly, if you look at the team at this point, it's just Austin Barnes, Clayton Kershaw, and Chris Taylor that are left from the 2017 Dodgers. And so it's minimal. When the Astros were playing here this season, Dave Roberts said, yeah, like it does feel a little bit different because even the Astros have undergone a lot of changes to their roster. And so, it's not quite the same as, a couple of years back. But real quick, not to completely go on a tangent, I think, the real potential biggest loser in this is going to be Johnny DeLuca, right? Like he's a right-handed hitting outfielder who I know a lot of fans have, and some of us have wanted to see what he could do in kind of an extended opportunity against left-handed pitching. And so this could end up cutting into that kind of if or when Chris Taylor is healthy and once Marisnick is on the roster as well.
Yeah, speaking of a right-handed hitting outfielder who's incredibly fast, I mean, that's Johnny DeLuca. He had some incredible, I believe, if I'm not confusing him with someone else, he had a remarkable stolen base sort of stat line in the minor leagues. I think he was, had, I don't know, not 100% success, but really, really successful down there. So that's an interesting one. And by the way, real quick on the Astros thing, if you think Austin Barnes is going to toughen up and flex on Marisnick for the 2017 thing, Matt informed us right beforehand that Barnes and Marisnick went to high school together, I believe. And so Barnes isn't going to be no gritty Austin Barnes captain toughening up here. Let's talk one more. Yeah, DeLuca, by the way, 96th percentile in sprint speed this year. So faster than Marisnick, younger than Marisnick, a prospect. That's just whatever. That's not going to make any sense to me. So I'm going to move on. Let's talk one more rumor here. And we do have a video coming out in the next few days when we did a lengthy breakdown of the upcoming trade deadline. One of the guys, Daniel, that you mentioned the Dodgers you could see having interest in was kind of confirmed today. John Morosi reporting that the Dodgers do have real interest in Lucas Giolito, pitcher from the Chicago White Sox, who's very good. He will be a free agent at the end of this season. This is his third year of arbitration. 28-and-a-half-year-old local kid as well. So, Daniel, I'll come to you first. This is a guy that you connected in this video, like I said, that's going to be posting in the next couple of days. So I imagine you're excited to hear that there's there's a little bit of smoke here.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. We've seen the Dodgers in the past. They typically like to go for those rental guys that have high upside just because the fact that he's in the last year of his deal, he's going to be a lot cheaper than some of the other starting pitchers on the market. He's having kind of a bounce back season. He had a rough year last year, but he's gotten back on track this year. I wouldn't call him an ace by any means, but he's like a low end to high end, number 3 starter, I'd say. And he's got a really good changeup. And I think we see the Dodgers, they like targeting guys that they have either one really good pitch or a couple good pitches, and they work with their repertoire a little and make some tweaks. So I think he makes a lot of sense. I think there's some other guys on the White Sox that are going to be available as well. So maybe you could, put a package of them together. We know the Dodgers have multiple needs. So I know starting pitching is going to be a hot commodity at the trade deadline, but I think this makes a lot of sense.
Matt, I mean, this is obviously the position of greatest need, as Daniel said. You're not in the video where we talked sort of at length about this. So give me your quick thoughts on Giolito to the Dodgers.
Yeah, I think a lot of what Daniel said hit the nail on the head. I think for me, I've never been particularly huge on Giolito. And I mean, admittedly, I haven't seen a whole lot of him. It's definitely been, kind of spurts here and there. So it could be a situation of, he's very much been hurt by pitching for a White Sox team that is, inconsistent at best. But I think what I'll be most interested to see with this is if the Dodgers do end up trading for Giolito, is it expanded to include maybe one of the White Sox relief pitchers as well? Or do the Dodgers, Tim Anderson has been a popular name since Gavin Lux. Not for me, but, definitely since Lux hurt his knee in spring training.
They already have Miguel Rojas. I'm not sure they need Tim Anderson.
That's true. And I do agree with you because we've discussed it and I brought it up for me, like Tim Anderson, also moving forward too, like the plan was to give Gavin Lux the starting job at shortstop. Yeah. So then if Tim Anderson is under team control beyond this season, what does that look like and so forth? So, but if the Dodgers can trade for Giolito and a relief pitcher, I think it would be a little bit more appealing. And as much as, he is a rental, I think he's still sort of like a name brand. And so I'll be curious to see what the asking price sort of settles on, because as Daniel said, in theory, being a rental, it should require fewer prospects to trade. But, the White Sox may drive a hard bargain and either, hold on to him or just try to squeeze as much juice as they can.
Yeah, Giolito, you look at his StatCast stuff, was basically an elite pitcher back in 2019, 2020, 2021 range. The last 2 years, he's been at basically league average as far as behind the scenes metrics go. I believe he has like a 3.5 ERA this season. So again, the Dodgers bar for what would be an improvement in their starting rotation is very low. Giolito would easily be in that. And then Lance Lynn's another guy we talk about in this video that we've referenced a couple times as well, who, look, Lance Lynn isn't very good, but you know what he does? He gets you 6 innings every single time he goes out there. And for a Dodgers rotation and a Dodgers bullpen that could desperately use that, that could be another interesting piece to slide into a deal as well. So again, John Morosi reporting that the Dodgers do have interest in Lucas Giolito. So keep your eyes and ears out for that one in the coming days. That's Matthew Moreno. That's Daniel Starkand. My name is Jeff Spiegel. As always, please subscribe, ring the notification bell here. Again, when the Dodgers make moves like the Marisnick one, we are coming at you with a video right away, getting you the latest information and tons of great content leading up to the trade deadline and beyond. You can check out DodgerBlue.com, where Matt and Daniel have some stuff up breaking down the latest, and especially as we get into the second half. And if you're a podcast person, please check out the DodgerHeads podcast on Apple, Spotify, and Google. Again, that's Matt, Daniel. I'm Jeff. We appreciate you joining us. As always, enjoy the rest of your day and go Dodgers.